a conversation that you had with Natasha on the press conference that we saw here in the UK. You were the one that brought up the 3-minute round situation. Of course, we've seen recently Amanda Serrano campaign for 3-minute rounds and fight championship fights at 3-minute rounds, and you brought it up in the press conference. Firstly, how successful have we been in trying to make this fight a 3-minute round affair?
You guys, we are 2 weeks out from the fight, and as much as I've had my manager press the situation, I still do not know whether we are going 3 minutes or 2 minutes for this fight.
That's ridiculous.
And I have pressed. Obviously, I asked from the jump, which at the press conference is what, 7 weeks out from the fight? Still no answer. I don't know if this is Boxer not wanting to do that, because they have stated that they love the 2-minute rounds for women's boxing. They think it's exciting. I don't know if it's Natasha saying, maybe let's not do that. I don't know what it is. I'm prepared for either one, but I've been waiting for an answer.
Listen, I'm on record saying I think that 3-minute rounds, I know that there's different attitudes towards this, but 3-minute rounds helps us get closer towards parity with the male side of the game. And I think champions like yourself, Mikaela, obviously campaigning for those types of things are a positive thing, but I think it's ridiculous that you're 2 weeks out from a fight, you don't know what length of round you're fighting.
Well, it's either 20 minutes or 36.
Yeah,
I mean, it does seem odd, but I don't agree with that thing about parity.
But that affects her S&C getting ready for this fight. If she doesn't know if she's doing 20 minutes and 36 minutes, that's ridiculous.
Well, I always train. I always spar 3-minute rounds. I'm always training to go long. I mean, it's one of the reasons I'm pushing for that is because not only do I think it'll benefit my style, but I also think that only allowing women to go 2-minute rounds is holding us back from developing to that next level and building our IQ.
Yeah.
Because when I go and I spar 3-minute rounds, I have time to set people up and build strategy. And when you're focused on just fighting 10 2-minute rounds, it's less time for strategy and more just about output. And so if we continue to allow women to do that, we're slowing down the evolution, right? We're slowing down the evolution of building that ring IQ and competing at an equal level. So I think that not every female right now could go 3-minute rounds. I do believe that not every female is ready for that.
But the elites.
And that's why but the elites are. And that's why, like Amanda Serrano, she said, hey, let's make it a choice.
Yeah.
And if the two women agree, let's do that. And then we can see where it goes from there.
I agree.
We're not pushing it on anybody. And we know us women who are willing to do it, we're not going to reap the benefits. We're not going to get paid $1 million more to do it. We're doing it because this is what we've always done. We've always pushed the envelope. We've always tried to build the sport in any way that we can. We're the pioneers. Yeah. So this is our job.
So there's two things I'd like to ask you, because Adam and I have debated this many times. And would you like to see more research done into it, kind of technically from a medical science, from a sporting science, just to ensure that there is an up-to-date medical evidence that we should be moving from 20, let's say, to 30 minutes, or 20 to 36 minutes? Should it be 12 twos, 12 threes, 10 twos to 10 threes? Where do we set the parameters, Mikaela?
It's not about the science, it's about the evolution. You have to allow us to grow and evolve into the sport, right? So if Amanda Serrano came out and said every championship fight needs to be 12 3-minute rounds or I'm done. No, she didn't say that. She said, I want to give the women who are interested in doing this the opportunity to say yes. Give us the chance to prove that it works. There's no there's not going to be any science done until we actually do it.
Okay, I buy that.
Yeah,
like
so
that.
give the women who are at the elite level who believe they can do it, let us try. Let us do that, and then we can evolve and go from there. Yeah. But it's not like we're going up against other men for 12 3-minute rounds. We know what we're doing. We do it in the gym every day.
Agreed. Go
on, ask the transgender question.
Well, I think that's where you were going to go.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask that about that thing that came out last week. Here's my thing. How can they allow transgender men to box women? Because for me, if you've been through puberty as a man, you should never box a woman. It's as simple as that.
You're absolutely right there. Once you go through puberty, there's things that hormone therapy you can't reverse. You cannot reverse what puberty has done. Okay, but let's stick to facts here. Everyone can talk about what their beliefs on the transgender community and what they believe, but I'm not talking about that.
No.
I'm talking about facts here. And the fact is hormone therapy is banned. You cannot use hormone replacement in sports. And so for that should literally make
discount
transgender
them.
athletes.
Yeah, it should discount them. Yeah.
It should make it by default should make them ineligible to compete.
Yeah.
Okay, period, point blank. You can't have it in your system. I mean, I think I've been in the USADA testing program, and I think if I took NyQuil the night before my fight and woke up and had to take a drug test, I would test positive.
Yeah, because it's got pseudoephedrine in it or whatever it is. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you can't pick and choose where these rules apply. There's no hormone therapy allowed in sports. It disrupts the even level playing field that we try so hard to create, right? We will always want an even level playing field. That's why we have weight classes. And this completely disrupts it. It's not fair, but it's illegal. It's not legal. And that's the point we have to stick to. It doesn't matter how you feel about the situation. I'm a supporter of the LGBTQ plus community. I really am. But at this point, we can't take opportunity away from other women who have been working so hard to become successful in the sport that they love, because it's illegal. You cannot do hormone therapy in sport.
I think you've got a lot of supporters on that as well. Just on that.
Can we go on? Yeah.
I've just got one more thing, because this kind of leads on nicely to what you were just talking about, obviously, substances, performance-enhancing drugs and various things like that you're just referring to there. The only loss on your resume is to Alicia Bumgardner, who obviously tested positive for a banned substance last year. I think you've been incredibly dignified and respectful when asked questions in the past. What are your feelings towards that situation?
I think that I stayed quiet in the beginning because my team had asked me to. Okay, you guys know me. There's plenty of things I wanted to say, but we wanted to let all the facts come out.
Yeah.
But the fact is, Alicia Bumgardner popped hot for some black market stuff. I mean, this isn't stuff that accidentally pops up in your lotion or protein powder. Okay, so at this point, the WBO has asked her to come up with a reason for why this happened. She came up with her own drug test, with which I heard they did not approve, and she should have been stripped by now. I don't know what's taking so long, but she deserves to be stripped. And this is not just has anything to do with me and my rivalry towards her, but this is across sport. Like, this has to be there has to be more standard, strict rules. It has to be clear across all athletes, all weight classes, man or woman. There has to be repercussions, because it's just way too easy. It's way too easy to get away with it these days, and it's not right. It's not right. So again, this is disrupting the even level playing field. I hope the WO strips her soon. I don't know what's taking so long, but to me, I think she's trying to do her best to stay relevant by calling out Clarissa Shields and even mentioning us fighting again. And to me, I don't think she deserves it. I think that she had all the opportunity in the world, becoming undisputed, and now she, in my eyes, is a fraud. And I think she needs to pay the price.
Very strong points there. Can I just ask you as well, going back, just slightly back to men and women sparring together in gyms as well? I know Adam was probably wanting to ask that as well. Obviously, we had the kind of the revelation, if you like, the disclosure recently that Clarissa Shields had been knocked out in sparring, unhurt in sparring, and that was a gym story, if you like. Do you spar with men, and do we need to be careful, or do gyms need to be careful about men and women sparring together? Because I've heard most women of your level tell me that they've had to spar men because the sparring isn't there for them all the time.
We all spar men. All us elite women, we spar men. And Clarissa getting dropped by that, there's no shame in her getting dropped by her male sparring partner. There's no shame in that.
That's what sparring's for, isn't it?
That's what sparring is for. And it's up to the coaches in the gym to regulate that to the best of their ability, to be able to push their athlete to an extent, right? You don't want to push them to the point where they're getting hurt, but if to get us women ready for these world title fights, you have to push your athletes to an extent. So her getting cut or her getting dropped is no knock on her, is no knock on her gym or her coach. I don't know what happened that day, but we're in there and we're training, we're doing our best, and we have to be pushed.
Is that by
And
someone a weight division perhaps below you, or is it, you know, I mean, because, you know, we've just talked about men and women not fighting, yeah? Not fighting professionally against each other. And I covered a licensed professional fight between a man and a woman in the year 2000 in Seattle, Washington. A woman called Margaret McGregor against a guy called Lloyd Chow, who was at lightweight, I think. And there was a much bigger story to it, Mikaela, because she'd been domestically abused and she'd taken up boxing. I mean, Lloyd Chow was a former jockey who'd boxed as an amateur. We dubbed him Lloyd Chicken Chow because they went a 4-round fight, and he literally ran. He was on a lose-lose, so she beat him up. But it's the only time I've ever in my life covered a licensed fight between a man and a woman. It was for the news pages. It was on the front page, I think, back in the day. I couldn't see it again. And it was like kind of the outrage of it happening that I was covering it. And there were 2/3 of the audience in Seattle were women anyway, about 8,000 in there, absolutely screaming Margaret on as she went like a raging bell. Now, that was a circus, if you like, a circus act. And we'd love to have you on for another hour to talk about this, but, you know, should we ever see a licensed bout between a man and a woman? You know, Clarissa's always calling out men to fight them. Is there ever going to be a time where that does happen? And how closely does men and women need to be supervised in the gym when you're training for a fight? Because I think there are probably times when the wrong guy is in sparring with a woman.
Yeah, idiots.
No?
But listen, the gym is supposed to be a controlled environment. The gym is a place where you need to be able to learn. You know, if you get dropped, you got to get back up. You got to figure out why you got dropped. You get caught with a certain punch. You know, you're working on blocking that and not getting caught again. That is a place for learning. So for one, someone to film that is wrong in general. But a gym is a controlled environment and a place for learning. To have a man versus a woman fight in real life, you know, that's up to the man and the woman. I think it creates competition between the two, and there really is no competition. We're in a league of our own. So
you are indeed, madam. You are.
Yeah, but I mean that's on the two fighters. If they want to make that happen one day, fine. But ultimately, you know, we have weight classes and we have divisions for a reason.
And gender for a reason as well. Yeah, of course.
Yes, exactly.
Listen, we're going to let you get to the PARK. I won't say it and cause havoc in your car.
Walkies.
Right, stop it.
Walkies.
We'll let you get on with your dogs. Listen, we're looking forward to seeing you on January the 20th. Two elite world champions in their own right, and they're going to throw down for us and give us some sensational entertainment. Listen, Mikaela, looking forward to welcoming you back to the UK. Go well, have a safe rest of camp, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers, champ. Thanks a lot.
Awesome. There she is. Mikaela Mayer, former super featherweight world champion.
Fascinating stuff.
She's absolutely 100% after a career in boxing going into the world of media, because she's made some fantastic points. And she's
if not with her bass guitar. Listen, how right am I that she should be bringing the bass guitar to Liverpool?
I'm up for it now.
Come on.
I'm up for it now.
I'll play the piano.